Hey, it's Adele from Let's Get Inkie, and today we're playing in my new favourite journal, which is my junk journal. I freaking love this thing. It's just, I found my dream size. You know, when you find a journal that's just the right size, I think I'm going to call it the Goldilocks. It's not too big, it's not too small, it's not too thick, it's not too thin, it's just right. So this is a junk journal that I made, and it is in my junk journal class, which sadly I was really hoping was going to be up before little girl arrived, but I had a few setbacks with my pregnancy and just with general life busyness, and there's about 12 hours of voiceover to do, and I didn't get a chance to do it, and I wanted to make some junk journal kits as well, so that will be up in the new year. But I have this little spread here, and I wanted to work on this side because I knew it was going to be a little bit tricky with that Gelli paper because it's very light. This is my stencil binder. I have a full video over on my Patreon of how I set it up and why I set it up the way that I did, and then that first binder that I pulled the images out of is also a video on Patreon, how I store my collage images if you want to know more. But I wanted to mimic the pattern that was on the left hand side. So on the left, this is a Gelli plate print that I made and bound into the book. So I didn't do it before filming this, I didn't do it off camera, it was just part of my journal. And it's really nice if you're someone who is a little nervous of the blank page like I am. I do get nervous at the blank page a lot, which is why I think that I like junk journaling possibly more than art journaling, just because you've got something to go off, you've got a basis, and if you want to cover the whole freaking page up before you even start, that's okay, but it just gives you a bit of a jumping off point. So for this one, I grabbed that bottom image. I just thought the colors went perfectly with the left-hand side of the page. And then this top one, I don't know why I picked it. I felt like if I'd picked another colored image, it would have been too much competitiveness between the three things. And I felt like by adding a black and white, it just toned everything down a little bit and just added a contrast that the page really needed. I grabbed this stencil and I'm going through and picking out my cheapy paints that I just get from my local $2 shop, and I'm in love with this pink. It's just so fluorescent and bright, and I feel like I can add it to any page and make it work. I can have a Tim Gunn moment from Project Runway and make it work. This stencil is a smaller version of the little raindrops that are on the left hand side, and I'm just using a makeup sponge and some, is it after midnight? No, that's not what it's called. It's the dark blue Dilutions paint color, and I'm using that and then just lightly dipping my sponge into the pink and slightly blending them together, not going too crazy, but just slightly blending them together. Now this page I haven't gessoed, I haven't done anything to. It's just an old book paper that I included in my journal, and if I was using something that was a lot more liquidy, like watercolor or even acrylic inks, they're a little bit more watery, I probably would have added a coat of clear gesso first. But because I knew that it was acrylic paint, it goes really well over the top of book pages, and I didn't need to add anything extra to it. So then I kind of felt like it was a little too stark. The stencil was standing out a bit too much. So luckily this pink paint is really transparent, and so I grabbed a wide paintbrush and I'm just really lightly, with barely anything on there, going over the rest of the page and going over the stencil. And you can still tell that the stencil is pink, but it just mutes that background from being so bright white and makes it all blend in a bit. This is the other journal that I'm currently working in. There's been process videos over here on YouTube, and it's just an 8x8 Dilutions creative journal, and I'm using it a bit like a use it up journal. If you haven't heard of that, I love the idea of a use it up journal. I have two of them. One's finished, one's almost finished, and then this is my new one, I guess you could say. And it's basically just a spare journal that whenever you stencil or use paint or have any sort of extra product or have started a mess and can make another copy of it, like stenciling, I just slap it in my spare journal, my use it up journal, and it really helps when I feel like making a page but I don't quite feel like getting all the paint out and getting all messy. It's just a bit of a sneaky, what's the word I'm looking for, baby brain. It's a sneaky quick trick. No, there's a word I'm looking for. Oh, it's a cheat. That's what I'm looking for. It's a little bit of a cheat to get an art journal page done when you're feeling like doing something quickly. So then I felt like the stencil needed some popping, and so I used my white Uniball Signo Broad gel pen, and I'm just tracing around all of the little shapes, just doing it really messy and doodly because that's the look that I like, and it also helps you to not stress out too much if you accidentally go out of the lines a little bit. I honestly had no idea what this page was coming to, but looking at it, I needed a pop of yellow on that right hand side and even a pop of red. So I grabbed some more of my cheap acrylic paints and I decided to just I grabbed a nice flat brush and I'm just doing 3 little paint swatches. And I think this is one of my favorite parts of the whole page. I don't know why I wanted to do it, but it really does tie in the 2 pages together. So if you're ever feeling like you've got an art journal spread and maybe you've created the 2 pages at different times, just by adding a tiny bit of that color from one side to the other side can completely transform how the page is looking. So then I knew I wanted to do some sort of large quote on that left hand side. The problem with deli paper is that it doesn't like to behave. It does bleed through depending on what pen you are using. I'm using a food ball. Is it a Pilot? I think it's a Pilot. And it's very thick and inky. And yes, I've only just started using deli paper recently, and I'm still learning the best ways to utilize it in my journal. But I really, really love the feel of the paper after it's been painted. If you're someone who likes a bit of book page crinkle, a bit of ASMR, painted deli paper is lovely. I was searching for it for a really long time. I didn't think that we could get it here in Australia. And then my beautiful friend Lauren Hender, who has a YouTube channel too, you should check out. She discovered some at I think it was at a food supply store. And I was very grateful that she was able to pick me up some so that I could have some experimenty fun. So then I was feeling just like experimenting with a few different mediums that I don't usually use. And I had forgotten that I bought a few fluoro pencils. So I'm pretty sure these are Stabilo brand. And so I just added a few little doodly bits and pieces, and it was handy because I was able to bring the pink from the right hand side across to the left. And this page is all done. So it was a really quick and easy one to put together. I love how it turned out. It's just nice and bright and happy. Thanks for watching today, peeps. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. I've got lots more junk journal videos coming in the future, but this is my last video for now. I'm taking 6 weeks maternity leave from YouTube while I go and have a bub at the end of November, and I will be back on December 13th with another junk journal video. I'm pretty sure it is, and I will see you then. Thank you for all your love and support while I have been going through my pregnancy, and I will see you all very soon. Bye.